Miami-Dade police have released body cam footage of officers detaining NFL player Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins wide receiver was pulled over in his car near the team stadium on Sunday as he headed to a game. After Hill handed over his license, an officer objected to him rolling up the car's window. Here's what happened next, and a warning that the video contains some violence.
Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me your ass, Mom. Get out of the car. Give me your ass, we'll break that window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. 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 What part of violence you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it.
Hill was on the phone to his agent at the time. Later on in the video, an officer is seen grabbing Hill from behind and forcing him to sit. Hill was not arrested and was released at the scene a short time later. After the game, which he played, Hill told reporters he showed no disrespect and was shocked and embarrassed. One of the officers involved has been suspended pending an investigation. The Miami-Dade Police Union said officers followed protocol and did nothing wrong. Let's take you to Miami now and bring in correspondent Brian Andrews for more on this. So, Brian, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Jacqueline, it is 105 minutes and 33 seconds of body-worn camera footage that is the hottest ticket on the internet today, the most downloaded, the most looked at, because everybody wants to see for themselves what really happened. Is this a case of the Miami-Dade Police Department being unprovoked, too hot, too heavy-handed with a star NFL player? Or is this the case of an NFL player not following directions, a lawful order from a police officer?
Exactly.
It depends.
Big questions, right? Walk us through it. I mean, we did play a snippet of it, but like you said, 105 minutes of this video was released. So can you walk us through the main points of it?
I think that the main points are he was instructed by the motor officer outside Hard Rock Stadium to lower his window. And then he put his window back up. And he is heard on the body-worn camera footage saying, quote, "Just give me the ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm going to be late." And after that, it all went south. He was refusing commands from the officer to get out of the car. Some might argue that he was getting out of the car, just not fast enough to the officer's liking. Others might say he was clearly delaying and not following directions. Again, this is open to interpretation. But you'll remember the police officer said in an elevated voice, "Get out of the car now. We're not playing this game." Well, the bad blood continued over on the sidewalk. After they put him face down on the street and handcuffed him, they walked him over to a shaded area by the sidewalk, and they asked him to sit down. He resisted that order, and he said, this is Tyreek Hill speaking, "Hey, I just had knee surgery." And the officer from Miami-Dade Police responds on the body-worn camera video, quote, "What a coincidence. Maybe you need surgery for your ears." Well, where is the love? It gets better. While cuffed, Tyreek Hill comes out on camera and says in the body-worn camera footage, "I'm a black man in America with a nice car." To which an African-American police officer in the same shot walks up and on audio and video says, "We're dark too. We're people of color. Don't play that game." Eventually, this whole thing lasted about 30 minutes. He was not arrested. He was detained, and he was given a traffic violation for speeding. And then the Dolphins went on to beat the Jaguars, and there was a little bit of mocking during the game. Maybe you saw it on national television.
On the field,
we did.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
On the field, there he was with his hands, and he was making a gesture that many considered was mockery towards the Miami-Dade Police Department. So is everyone behaving like gentlemen in this? It's up for interpretation. Are the players' display of disrespect warranted for police officers? That's up for interpretation. But right now we have a situation where no one's winning.
Well, let's talk about the Dolphins here. I mean, they did win that day, like you said, but in terms of the reaction from the team to this particular incident, what have they been saying about it?
Jacqueline, they have come right out and called the behavior of the officers on camera despicable. said that the officers were overly aggressive and violent in their behavior toward Hill, using unnecessary force and hostility toward Hill and the other Dolphins players who stopped and tried to intervene with police officers during their traffic stop of Hill. Now, there are a lot of people here in the United States who'd say, well, wait a minute, if you tried to get involved in a police officer situation, that's not exactly going to result in the best situation. It didn't for those other players as well. At least one other player was handcuffed, and another player who stopped was cited for driving a luxury vehicle without a current license tag. What's going to happen now? Well, we've got this going on. Lots of pointing. The police department says, hey, our officers are entitled to due process. There's an internal affairs investigation underway. One of the officers on video has been removed from the motorman squad and assigned to administrative duty. That could be the officer who was heard on camera in both video and audio using curse words, dropping an F-bomb, and being condescending, if you will, to the player while he was detained. Now, Hill himself said after the game, I wasn't disrespectful. Quote, I didn't curse. None of that. My mother raised me better. That's right. I reviewed the 105 minutes and 33 seconds of the tapes this morning, and I did not hear him utter one bad word out of his mouth. But what I did notice is that he was clearly agitated and aggravated that he was being stopped. He was given commands by these Miami-Dade police officers, which he replied to, but perhaps did not reply quickly to their liking. The police department will have to decide what they're going to do at this point, if policies and procedures were violated, and what the appropriate consequence will be. In my experience of covering the Miami-Dade Police Department for 20 plus years here in South Florida, these IA investigations can go anywhere from 3 weeks to 6 months.
A lot of attention on this one, like you said, Brian, and for good reason, because there have been so many instances like this, particularly in the U.S., where somebody is treated, a person of color is treated in a way that they shouldn't be. So important to be considering the situation, like you said, different interpretations of the behavior of everyone involved in it. I appreciate you walking us through it today. Thanks, Brian.
Many different viewpoints. Thanks again.
Yeah, that's Brian Andrews reporting for us from Miami.